All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, you got just your boy CMR in the house. No guest today. We got a couple things we got to talk about. Got some things we got to get to. Rolling that sweet intro music. Oh, Eugene. Y'all know he'd be proud. For sure he would. I got to get my microphone adjusted. As you guys can see, we are rolling with a little bit different backdrop right now. Now, we are working on getting all of our lighting squared away and make sure that we got that all fixed up and nice for you guys. But as you guys can see, we do have a little bit of a different backdrop behind me. Got a video I wanted to come to you guys today and make and talk to you about. I never really wanted to make this video, if I'm being honest with you. I know that was the title, and it's 100% the truth. If you'd asked me if I was going to be making this video a year ago, I'd have told you there was absolutely no way we would be making this video for you guys here today in December of 2022, but here we sit and we're making it. And I'm just going to dive right into it. I want to let you guys know that moving forward, Sarah and I have decided that on the Cameraman Ron channel, we are no longer going to do sponsorships. Now, let me go ahead and preface this real quick and say there's a difference between sponsorships and partnerships, and we are still going to have some partnerships that we're going to maintain moving forward. Waterland Sunglasses, our partnership with Genesis Power Tools, things like we do with Mike over at Express Oil and Auto there on 9 Mile Road here in Pensacola. Those are partnerships, and I'm going to get into that here in just a few minutes in the difference between partnerships and sponsorships, because there is a huge difference, but we're going to talk about that for just a moment. But first, I want to give you guys a why we're doing this. And here's the point blank blunt reason of why we're doing this. I felt like on our channel, with us being the size that we were overloading you guys with just stuff all the time, just stuff, whether we were doing a sponsored video for Shop Carl's or Mystery Tackle Box. And this is nothing against those companies. I can't stress that enough. I am so thankful and so grateful for the opportunity to work with all of the people that we've had the opportunity to work with over this past year here in 2022. This has nothing to do or no bearing on them. That they make amazing products and they do great things. But I felt like we were getting to a point where I was forcing content. Creator content is creator burnout is a real thing. It really happens. I'm not burnt out by any stretch. That's not what this video is about. But I did feel like there was times where I wasn't making the videos I wanted to make because I had to make a specific video to satisfy a sponsorship. Not that they're crazy picky, but just sometimes there was things I was doing that I really probably wouldn't have been doing otherwise. And I felt like it was really, really affecting our content to an extent. And I didn't want that to continue. So we decided that in 2023, we were going to terminate all of our sponsorship videos. So you guys are not going to be seeing any other sponsored content on this channel now for the foreseeable future. I'm sure someday we'll start doing sponsorships again. Mila's dropping her ball. If you guys hear that, doom, 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 that's Mila dropping her tennis ball down in front of me. We are at the house, and she decided she wants to play tennis, which we're not going to do. And we do have some lightning and thunder rolling. So if any of that like cracks or if we lose power or something like that, hey, it'd make for a cool video. But that's all that's going on. We do have some storms rolling through the Pensacola area. Hang on, Mila, you got to stop. Sarah, can you come get your redheaded girl because she's dropping a ball? And it's just dinging all over the place on the camera. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. It's just one of those deals where partnerships going to stay in place. We have a partnership with Waterlands. And what that means is, and we can get into this, a partnership is, and you guys have heard us talk about this for a while. This is nothing new. A partnership is where a company gives us product. We use the product. It's something that we would be using on a day-to-day basis anyways, and that's what Waterlands is. Waterlands is a partner. Waterlands does not pay me one single penny to put content on our channel at all. They don't write me a check. They don't give me money. They send me some sunglasses. I wear them because I like them. Therefore, they are a channel partner. Frog Talks, channel partner. They don't pay me to say anything special about them. I wear their stuff. It's amazing gear. That's a partnership. A sponsorship is if someone physically writes you a check or gives you cash to put their product on your channel as an advertisement. That is a sponsorship. And that is what we are going to stop doing moving forward. Nothing that you guys see us use or talk about on this channel for the foreseeable future is going to be anything that we were paid to use on the channel. And again, this is not a knock on those products. I can't stress that enough. That's not what this has to do with. I could go back and give you at least 3 or 4 videos this past year that I made because of a sponsorship obligation, and it wasn't something that I was really excited to make or wanted to make. And I feel like what that does is it affects your creativity when you're moving in something. If you got a video you really, really want to make, or your mind's somewhere else that day, just like the video you guys saw that we put out Thursday, I made a chicken tractor, Daniel Arms. I made a chicken tractor. Daniel immediately called me out, as he should have. I should have known. I mean, I grew up on a farm in Kentucky. I should have known better than to call that a chicken tracker. But I mean, to be honest with you, that's just what I always thought people were calling them when they were. But there was plenty of people in the comment section to let me know that it's not a tracker, it's a tractor. But that being said, we want to make those type of videos sometimes. Obviously, that's not going to fall in line with a sponsorship deal, especially if it's a fishing sponsorship deal. We still do all kinds of fishing on this channel. And I know I get comments all the time, and you guys are like, I don't like the podcast. I wish you'd stop doing the podcast. The podcasts aren't going anywhere. And here's why. I enjoy doing them. Now, as I've said from the very, very beginning, I totally understand they are not for everyone. I get it. I don't expect you to sit here and watch a podcast if it's not something you're interested in. I wouldn't even want you to. I wouldn't do it. And I mean, so I don't want you guys to do it either. However, this is our channel and it is something we enjoy doing. So we're going to continue doing podcasts. We got a lot of great guests coming up. We are going to expand in 2023 and start talking to some different people other than just content creators. Got a couple of really good episodes that we've already filmed that are coming up for you guys here over the next couple weeks. As I'm sure you've noticed, this video came out on a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. That is going to be our new time slot for the podcast videos. I've had the whole last 3 months have been kind of a trial run, so to speak, of how we wanted to manage this, what we wanted to do, what we wanted it to be about, the format of it. I mean, we were getting feelers, and that's why you guys have kind of seen me. We've been pretty consistent at posting these podcasts on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. But we are going to move the podcast to that 8 a.m. time slot on Saturday morning. They just seem to do better then. I guess people may have more time to watch them or click on them at that point. The great thing about these, if you're driving down the road or you're driving to your mom's house that's an hour away on Saturday, or your grandma's house, just turn it on and listen to it. You don't have to watch them. We are eventually going to get these put on Spotify, Apple Music, all the things. It's just not something that I have done yet. It's not because I don't want to. We've just been crazy busy with editing wedding videos. Our October and September were just absolutely bonkers as far as weddings went. So we're going to work after the first year on getting these put up on a consistent basis on Spotify and then all the places that you get your Apple Music or wherever you get your podcast at, if that's all you're listening to. But for the time being, all you got to do is just turn it on your phone, listen to it through your car speakers. Almost every car's got a Bluetooth hookup now. Unless you're driving the old brown pickup truck like we are, and it does not have any kind of Bluetooth connection whatsoever. There, I said it. I said that we were turning. This was, you wouldn't think it would be that tough. And I think the reason why it's a tough video to make is when you're coming up and you're starting to make money on content creation, whether it be on whatever platform you're doing it on, when you get that first sponsorship offer, guys, it feels like the most amazing thing in the world. You're just like, oh my gosh, they recognize me for what I'm doing. And you get all these feelings and all these emotions and you get caught up in it. And it feels like the greatest thing ever. And it is cool. Don't get me wrong. It is very, very cool when that happens. But you when you look at the business side of it, moving forward, sometimes those deals are not the most beneficial for you, if that makes sense. And I've said this once when I did the Fishing Not Catching podcast 2 or 3 months ago. I talked about in that podcast, if you are an up and coming creator, Sarah, can you please get her? She is dropping a ball just over and over underneath the table. And she's about to drive me nuts. So Sarah's trying to get Mila into the living room so she will stop bouncing that ball. But I said on there, when you first come up and you want this sponsor deal so bad and you reach out to ABC company, whoever it is, doesn't matter whether you're in the fishing world or the gaming world or the Lego building world or whatever it is you're doing for your content. I've seen so many people, and I did this too. This is not a knock on anybody because I did the exact same thing. You're like, you reach out to these companies. And in my opinion, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make early on in your social media career. Because as soon as you reach out to one of these companies, the ball is 100% in their court at that time. You're not going to get the best deal possible if you don't wait for them to reach out to you. The other thing I say is don't give people free publicity. You know, it's one of those deals where it's hard not to. Like if you love Planters cheese balls, as you see sitting back here back behind me, it's hard to not have Planters cheese balls in your video on an everyday basis. Now, we are not partnered with Planters cheese balls whatsoever. I just thought it was a cool decoration to put back there because you guys sent us so many of them. But I see guys all the time, especially in the fishing world, and it's like, I'm throwing XYZ bait today from this company, and I love this bait, and da-da-da-da-da. And they're not getting anything in return for it, not even, free baits. And those videos are going to be around forever. They're never going away. So you are giving that company free publicity. I can't get that out. That was a tough word to say. Now you're like, well, why is that such a bad thing? Well, it's not a bad thing, but it's going to limit the chances of them ever offering to pay you as you grow into a bigger audience and then on bigger platforms. They're not ever going to reach out to you and be like, hey, CMR, man, we noticed that you've been using our baits for 2 years now, and we appreciate that, and we want to give you a sponsorship deal. That's not going to happen. And the reason that's not going to happen is because they're getting tons of publicity from you for free. They're not paying you for it, and they're getting all this publicity from you for free, so they're probably not ever going to pay you. I'm not saying stop using it. That's not what I'm saying. Like, there's a couple baits out there that I just absolutely love to use. And early on, I was the same way. I'm like, man, I'm using, this jerk bait from so-and-so, and I love this thing, and in this color scheme, and da-da. That's great. It's fun that you're using that bait, but they're never going to contact you and be like, hey, we want to give you a deal to use our baits exclusively because we recognize what you're doing. They're probably not going to do that. And that's just the unfortunate reality of it. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys, it's one of those things where, if you have a sponsorship, that's when you really want to push that product, not if you're not getting paid to do so. And again, I cannot stress to you guys enough, please, please, please understand the difference between a partnership and a sponsorship, because two totally different things. Most of the time, sponsorships or partnerships rather. And again, this is my opinion. I'm not speaking for anybody around me. Everybody has a different opinion on this. I'm just giving you mine. 100%. There's going to be a ton of different opinions on this. I respect all of those opinions 100%. I'm just giving you my point of view for it, as a fairly new creator on the platforms, experiences I've had. And like a partnership, most of the time it's stuff I want or I need or I'm using on a daily basis. Waterland is a prime example. Number one, great product, right? They sent me the Waterland back when I was doing a lot of stuff with Brant, and they sent me Waterlands, and I fell in love with them. I love the way they fit my face. I love the polarization of them. They are a great product. Now, they don't pay me to say that. I'm never going to get a check from Waterlands to say that they have a great product. I just say that because I believe in them. Most of the time, when these partnerships happen, we get reached out to all the time. You guys are going to be seeing a couple videos coming up where we're working with some portable power stations. We get videos or we get product offers constantly, all the time. We turn down way more than we accept. I can't even tell you the amount of partnership deals that we turn down that people's like, hey, we want to send you some product and we want you to put it on your channel. Used to, I was like, yes, do it. And I would agree to all this stuff. And it was like, there was these expectations and all the stuff. And I'm just like, this is awesome. Nowadays, when people reach out, my first statement to them, and Joey Antonelli and I talked about this when I was down in South Florida with him. My first statement to them is, send me your product. If I like it, I'll put it in a video. Now that does one of two things. One, you have no expectations with that, right? So when you get this product in, you're going to be able to review that product if you want to. If it's crap, you don't have to try to push it to your audience. I don't want to do that. If it's something that's just not worthwhile, I don't even want to show it to you guys. So I tell people up front, I'm like, hey, if I don't like your product, I'm not going to use it on the channel. I'm going to be honest with you. You're more than welcome to send it to me, but I'm not going to use it. Now, Do I still get some crap in when I say that? Sure. I mean, I had a fishing gear company, and I'm not going to say any names, and they're like, hey, we really want to send you some product. And I kind of knew going in it was going to be crap. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, you can send it to me, but if it's garbage, I'm not going to use it in a video. And they're like, yeah, we think you're going to love it. They sent it. It was crap. It was complete garbage. So never made it into a video. We've had other stuff that, is obviously much, much better products that we're using on a daily basis. Frog Togs, prime example. Our contact at Frog Togs is amazing. He hooks us up. Literally, if you see me 99.9% of the time, I'm going to be wearing some kind of Frog Togs footwear, whether it be their sandals or their slip-on shoes or their rubber shoes. I love them. I really do. So when Will reached out and he was like, hey, I'd love to send you some product to use in your channel, no expectations, don't want you to even mention it, I just want you to wear it. I'm like, hey, I'm game for that. That's a great partnership at that point. And in my opinion, that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. I see so many channels like veer off from what they do. And, if you're for me, I'm mostly an outdoor channel, whether we're messing with the chickens or whether we're fishing or camping or doing truck camper videos that you guys are going to see a ton of coming up really soon. I'm doing mostly outdoor stuff. So realistically, if somebody sends me a partnership offer or a sponsorship offer up to this point for, I can't think of something like Nerf guns. Like, I'm probably not going to do that. It makes no sense. My audience isn't going to relate to that. It's not going to make any sense whatsoever. And I see that more and more, with other channels that are just not doing, like, in my opinion, smart sponsor deals or smart partnership deals. And then you have some that make total sense. And again, I've said this so many times to you guys. I've been so blessed to have, some of these bigger creators that have literally been through all this, that have coached me and walked me through what to do and what not to do. Because at the beginning, I was accepting everything. It was like, oh my gosh, look at it. I got this and I got this. And then I look up and I've got all this stuff sitting in my living room. But at the end of the day, I'm like, dang it, I got to make 14 videos that I promised these people, for whatever reason. And it's just, that has gotten so old that I had to stop it. From a sponsorship standpoint, because you'll get one-offs too. We'll pay you $200 to make this video. We'll pay you $1,000 to make this video. And, the money sounds great at the beginning. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to pay me this much money just to make one video. And it's like, well, yeah, but they want a 5-minute time slot or a 2-minute time slot or whatever. And you start stacking all that together. And if you only post, 350 minutes of content a month and you're having to do, 85 minutes of that as sponsored deals or whatever, it really, really can start taking a toll on your content. It can get your content kind of watered down. And just not as good. So, I mean, that being said, that you're still going to see products on our channels. I mean, we still have Genesis Power Tools. I literally got a package in from them today because we're getting ready to do some major, not major, but like some construction stuff on the truck camper. Steve Hicks, my contact up at, Genesis Power Tools or Rich Power. He was like, hey, I'm going to send you a couple things that's going to help you out. And I was like, hey, absolutely. So yeah, you're going to be seeing Genesis Power Tools in my hands now, but it's because it's a good product. It's not because they're not asking me to push the product to you or do anything like that. All I'm going to be doing is using it in a video, and that's a great partnership for me. It's something I need. It's something I have to have, and it's a great product. So that being said, we are going to continue those partnerships. I want to make sure that I stress that to you guys. So if you guys see me wearing Waterlands or you see me using the Genesis Power Tool or riding an electric e-bike and you're like, oh, I thought you were done with sponsorships. I am 100%, at least for the foreseeable future. Now, when we get, growing and all that kind of stuff and we get a bigger channel, maybe we go back to doing some sponsored deals. It makes sense then because you have a big enough audience to pass that stuff along to. But at this point, I just don't feel like we do. We're trying to do some merchandise sales here and there. We've had a couple of t-shirt launches, which you guys completely got behind, which we can't thank you enough for. And we want to do that more of that in 2023, but I also don't want to be asking you to buy a t-shirt one day and then the next day be like, oh, and by the way, I need you to go to ABC brand and spend money there. And also I need you to go to XYZ brand and spend money there. And it's not what we want to do with our channel. So, that being said, that's why we're making this video. I feel like we have always been very open and transparent with you guys about every single thing that we've done along the way on this channel. And so I didn't want to just you all be like, what happened? Why'd you stop doing this? Or why'd you stop doing that? Was this not a great thing? Everything I've ever done, I believe in. I truly can say that. All the sponsored stuff has been amazing up to this point. But I just felt like it was really starting to water down our content. And honestly, I think it kind of stunted our growth just a little bit. We got some pretty lofty goals for 2023 that we're pretty excited about. Like I said, we've already got the one shirt in the works. You guys know about it. Tummy Time with CMR. I'm not exactly sure what we want to put on that shirt. I know we want to say something about Tummy Time. So if you have any suggestions, I am open to that 100%. I do believe we're going to put a mangrove snapper on that shirt. I've talked to Sarah about that. I've talked to our guys down at River City. And I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. We're going to put a mangrove snapper on that shirt. And it's going to have something to do with Tummy Time. And huge shout out to Cole Harkin. That was 100% came from him. I can't even, forever I've been doing the whole, you're going to get the belly, you're going to get the belly. I talk about it all the time. It's become a very ongoing joke on the channel. But immediately when we got on the boat with Cole and he's like, yeah, that's Tummy Time with CMR. I'm like, that's a t-shirt waiting to happen right there. So I'm thinking it's going to be something like, do you want some Tummy Time, or you want some, I don't know exactly what it's going to say. It's going to have something to do with Tummy Time. It's going to have that mangrove snapper on there. So we are pretty excited about that coming up. Again, guys, this is no knock on any of the brands that we've worked with in the past under sponsored deals. I can't stress that enough. All the companies we've worked with have been absolutely amazing. It's just a personal preference. For 2023, we want to, utilize the partners that we have on our channel. But the number one thing we're trying to focus on doing in 2023 is building the Cameraman Ron brand, building this channel, and making sure that we are giving you guys quality content that you guys want to watch on a weekly basis, as you guys have always done. I've said this 1,000,000 times. I'll say it 2 million more. We are so blessed to have one of the most loyal audiences on any platform. I truly believe that. When I talk to our partners, when I talk to people, they're like, man, for a channel your all's size, you've got just a loyal audience. And man, we do. We really do. And we are so thankful for that. And guys, that's all I got for you today. I really wanted to address this with you all. We will be back on next week with a very special guest. I will tell you guys, the podcast coming up next Saturday, you ain't going to want to miss, because it's going to be a good one. We got somebody who you guys have actually been asking for. Multiple people have reached out and been like, hey, why don't you do a podcast with? And I'm like, that's finally going to happen. So we've got a very special guest on next Saturday for the podcast. So if you're not subscribed to the Cameraman Ron channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. 2022 style, because you ain't got that long left to hit it. 2022 style, y'all. We rolling hard into 2023 real soon. Guys, we cannot thank you enough for all the love and support you've shown us over this last year in 2022. We cannot wait to keep on making amazing content for you guys in 2023. Guys, can't wait to see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care, and we'll see you soon. Oh, and don't worry. Come Monday, we're going to upload a new video. Y'all just might have a Eugene sighting. I know everybody's been asking about him. We're going to get old Eugene on real soon.